Hello and welcome to this episode of Microchips and part 2 of the Ham International Concorde. Part 1 was the refurbishment of the front, and now this is going to be dealing with the radio and getting it up to a good specification. So as you can see there, it's a Ham Concorde, and you eagle-eyed people out there will have noticed some things going on. But the underside looks mostly okay. Just need to deal with a few issues on the top side. So one of them being the bleep switch. Now instead of switching the actual TX relay side, they've switched the audio side. So basically with the bleep off you still get a delay, which is not the way it should be done. So we're going to remove that. I'm going to deal with that later. As you can see, the LF out on the bleep module. In fact, the whole bleep module and microphone socket looks like it's been well worked on. But we're going to deal with that. So, out with the switch. Don't know why they put a resistor to case on the other side. Maybe it's to dampen it down. Maybe it wasn't dampening it down correctly with it in the off position. But again, it's not the right way it should be done. So out with that, and we'll deal with that later on. You can tell how long ago that was done because all the adhesive on this tape has completely stopped being adhesive. And I know it's only a PA socket, but we're going to put it back. I've noticed the white insulator ring is missing. Luckily I have a spare, so we'll put that back on. And we'll refit the socket as it should be. There, back as it should. Okay, so some essential maintenance on these. Bias resistors and the other two parts, so we fitted them. I've done videos on this before. And there's our Darlington, and it looks a little bit iffy. Don't seem to be moving, but we're going to tidy up that as well. So as I was cleaning it, part of the pad come away, so it was lifting, it was moving. So we're just going to strengthen that up. So I'll put a wire link on there and we've soldered it on. We've tidied up that area, so that should be good now. So we're going to fit a voltage feed VCO. These are available on my Facebook group. So out with the green VCO and in with my VCO. Connected it up to the 9V AVR. And without any adjustment, it's well within range. So now we just need to find out which one is the super high crystal. Or should we say the wiring to the super high crystal, the 8 volts to it, because we're going to be using that later on. Because we're going to be removing the super high, replacing it with UK40. So we found out which wire. We also found out that this switch is a bit iffy. But we'll deal with that switch in a little bit. So weapon of choice today, PLL replacement board, nice and simple one. So we've got plus 10 kc, minus 5 kc, UK40. We're not going to bother about the minus 40 on this, so I'll not put any wires to it. So out with the PLL O2A. We've cleaned up the area around the bottom. And as always with my boards, we just offer it to the bottom first, give it a wiggle just to make sure the holes are free, and then we can easily fit it through the top side. So making sure it's fully pushed down and not touching the back of the channel change. So these are the parts we're going to remove. We're going to remove the inductor and the crystal as such, which will leave the blue wire providing 8 volts. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a 10k in place of the inductor, and we're going to put a diode to activate high band when UK is on. And whilst I was doing this switch started to annoy me, so I decided to take it apart. So we're going to deal with the front controls now. Now we've already removed the low power. So there's our minus 5 kc and the plus 10 kc wired up on the switches. And we just need to deal with the bleep wiring. So I've added 3 wires onto the switch, which is going to be the correct wiring to remove any delays. And there it is in place. So basically we're switching the relay this time and not the LF or the audio out. So you can see the bleep works, and with the bleep off there is now no delay, as it should be. So let's have a look at receiver sensitivity. Sensitivity is good. So we're going to see if we can bring it just a little bit better. Managed to get it a tiny bit better, but it's still within specification and it's still nicely sensitive. So that's good. So that's the insides of our radio done. All switches neatly wired up, everything cable tied away. Now we just need to fit our front that we did in the previous video, and there it is. So that's a nice job on the front. But we're not finished there. What we have is some powder coated cases, because the case was quite rusty. So these have been professionally powder coated at a local company, and I think they look absolutely amazing. So with the addition of some new screws, there's the radio finished. So from what turned out to be a battered Concorde with a very tired front, it's now turned into a quite respectable radio now. Well, there's still some marks on the knobs, but that's a little bit harder to do, so I've left those. But anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, join the Patreon, buy me a coffee, join the Facebook group. All the parts shown are available in my Facebook group. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.